Okay. So with 6 count, the angles are 1-4 overhead, 1-4 overhead. Those are the angles of attack, not the angles of defense. And it's a reciprocating drill. So he attacks, I defend, I attack, he defends. All right? So he gives me an angle 1. I cut, check, here's my meet. I give him an angle 4. He does that. He comes over the top. I do an opening cruzado or roof block. There's an angle 1, there's a 4, there's an overhead. 1, 4, overhead. 1, 4, overhead. Now real slow. There's my cut and check. Here's my attack when I do this, okay? What's nice about this is I'm not hiding behind my knife right now. So when he starts to come with that overhead attack, if I hide behind my knife, I intersect it rapidly, okay? So there's my clearing line, and now I cut to a chamber position, my shoulder. I go to cut him, he cuts checks, he fires that out, and we keep working that way, right? So make sure you're turning your body a little bit, not a lot, but you're getting a proper meet. And the 3 rules for a meet are, who knows?
Get your arms parallel to the incoming attack.
Yep.
Plus sign.
What else? Plus sign, perpendicular, checking hand.
Knife first.
Knife first, right? Good. So 1, 4, overhead. I would recommend when you're practicing this, you say that over and over. 1, 4, overhead. 1, 4, overhead. Both people say it over and over and over and over and over again.
This is a 6 count.
All right, so Serrada is this. The angles are 3, 2, and overhead. 3, 2, and overhead. Okay? So he gives me an angle 3. I cut and check. Practice your meets on a 3. Make sure you're perpendicular. Your hips and shoulders are squared up to it. Make sure you get a good cut first, and you're cutting to a chamber point. Okay? It's very important. There's my angle 2. He does that offset cruzado, the push-pull. I do a roof block. I fire an angle 3. He cuts and checks. I do mine, right? And you just kind of... It's hard to remember sometimes. Everybody does that, right? And what's nice about these 2 drills is if you take a look at the beginning of either one of them, with 6 count I've got a high attack, with Serrada I've got a low attack. Now I have a response for any high forehand or low forehand attack. I don't have to worry about it, right? So that's good. I've also got, if you take a look at this, I've got a high backhand and a low backhand attack in these drills. So now I've got responses for any high backhand or low backhand attack. And I've got a straight ahead attack as well. So literally, you've got every attack you can possibly have pretty much covered in this. Okay? So what's good about this drill, you can do a variety of things. You can start with empty hand, do hoo-bud, push each other back, draw your knives, go into 6 count. And then at some point, if we're doing 6 count, life is good. We're moving nice and smooth, not especially fast. It's not about speed, right? We're going well. And maybe we're thinking, maybe we're not thinking, and all of a sudden I give them a 3. Oh, okay. So we switch. Right? And then after a while, when you get the hang of this, if you say, man, I'm really tired of this, I want to go drink the water, I could just walk away, or Robbie could do a speed stop on this at some point. There you go. And that's a good way to practice getting to speed stops dynamically. All right? So you can get a lot out of these drills. Actually, you can get almost everything out of these drills, because what you also have, you remember our options, we have the pass, the follow, the cruzada, and the meet, right? We've done the meet. I could theoretically let it go as a pass, but the easier thing to add into this, if we're going through here, 1, 4, overhead, 1, 4, overhead. I can start to cruzada things, okay? He's got to learn the response to cruzadas. We haven't necessarily covered that yet, okay? And I'm not going to do it right now because it'll melt your head. Email me and I'll show it to you. So tremendous amount of learning can be done. Go slow, help each other with chamber points. And right now, if you're doing it and something is wrong, look at your feet first, because you might have your left foot forward. Look at your knife grip, because you might be in a saber grip. And then look at your live hand, because a lot of times your live hand will be kind of hanging out down here and not in position for it to get where you want to go.
Doing whatever it wants to do.
Yeah, and the last part is chamber points. Make sure you're cutting from someplace to someplace. Go slow enough that everybody can work those chamber points.
And in Serrada, which is 3, 2, overhead, because you're coming from the overhead here to a 3, you really need to bring this to your hip before you throw the 3. Because what happened to me just then when I screwed up was I'm passing the angle 1 and I just wanted to throw an angle 1. So if you really bring this to your hip and then throw the 3, it helps the person you're working with.